Hi guys, Phil Hope here and welcome to the first video in a series of instructional videos for coaches, members, athletes, delving into starting out just gymnastics. So we're looking at the handstand in today's class, freestanding handstand. So not handstand push-ups or handstand walking, just holding a handstand and how to improve that. So first of all, we've got the warm-up. Okay, so learnt this on the CF gymnastics course, line drills, and this is just getting your, if say we've got about 5 in the class I think that day, if you had like 20, then you can break them up, set them off in lines of 5, and it gives you a really good opportunity just to see how the guys move. So here we've got bear crawls, moving on to some hollow rocks, rolling over onto the front, arch rocks, supermans, whatever you want to call them, and just rolling along, seeing if they can hit those good positions. What you tend to see with the hollow and the arch, compromised positions, and if it is apparent here in the warm-up, you might see how that carries over into things like your handstand, of course. With the arch rocks, if they can't rock like this tends to be the issue, then just have them arching up, okay? Adam with some barrel rolls there, showing off. Good lad. Moving on to handstand kick-ups, basically just showing how to initiate that kick-up. Take a nice long lunge, arms out long in front of you by the ears, plant the hands, strong elbows here today. Kick up, and it might just be a little kick up, 6 inches of that back foot coming off the floor. If you're not confident kicking all the way up, then don't, just a little tiny kick up. And again, this will just give you an idea on how your athletes are moving and what to look for later on in the class. Any issues like a little bend in the elbow, soft elbows. Just another little generic kind of movement, warm up, couple of lunges, a squat and then a broad jump. Again, see if there's any tightness or just see if the guys are moving well, and just to get them warm, get them moving. And then what I like to do with the line drills is I like to have them perform it back as well. So once they've gone one direction, take it back, challenge them that way. Moving on to some vestibular work, so forward rolls. It's pretty rare as an adult these days that we do anything where we go upside down, so just working on forward rolls, cartwheels, things like that, and just see how that is affected. If you know, people might struggle to do a forward roll, and again, a forward roll, if you're bailing out of a handstand, a forward roll is the ideal way to come out. If you're going over, forward roll out, and that's how you're going to get out your handstand nice and safe. So building confidence there. Adam with the old thumbs up. Okay, so getting into the handstand portion of the workout. So here I'm just reinforcing that lunge, nice long arms, strong elbows when we're kicking up. And really importantly today, I wanted to show you guys how to spot these positions and teach your athletes, teach your members, teach your coaches how to help each other to get into these good positions rather than just relying on the wall or whatever. So that nice long lunge, hands down. The 2 spotters either side are going to straddle the hands, okay? From there, that gives you a nice base to spot them in. You're not too far away, you're not too far either way, so they might fall through or you might not be able to get them up into position. From there, he's just going to lunge, place his hands on the floor. From there, kick up. You're going to go one hand on the lower back, one hand on the quad, and spot them up nice and tall, okay? Again, just reinforcing those things. So we have Adam here, we have him kick up, just getting him confident there in that first position. There we go, kick him up. Joe's kind of stood in the way there, should move, there we go. So again, he's up, hand on the back, hand on the quad, get him up, let him feel those legs together, squeezing the legs together, toes pointed to the ceiling, pushing out as far as we can, okay? Not a bad position there from Adam. Up next, we've got Adam Naden, who has some issues going overhead. So you can see here with his position, pressing overhead, he tends to be quite restricted overhead in that position. So anything you see upright is going to be the same upside down. So you can see opening of that shoulder, a little bit compromised with a back arch here, because he should be here, but then the arms come forward. So a good way to fix that one, because you see that one quite a lot, just tell your athlete to look for his toes. Whilst he's upside down, you can see his toes are there, just pop their head through, and that tends to fix this as we come through, and it will usually straighten them out, but it's something that's going to need to be worked on, maybe thoracic, opening up the chest, getting those shoulders going, okay? What we're not looking for is this arch. We want them to look for their toes. They are there. When you're upside down, it's quite weird to imagine where your toes are, but just think, look down like this, chin to chest, and your toes are there, and that will straighten you out usually, okay? Get a nice straight stacked position, which is what we're looking for. Any kind of deviation away from that straight position and you're just leaking effectiveness, basically. You're just using you're using too much muscle rather than just a nice stacked position, okay? Joe, confident, kicking up, no dramas. Probably get a little bit arch in the back, head through, there we go. And that's fixed it. Nice squeezing legs together, toes pointed away, really pushing the floor away with the hands. Spot on. Martin, a little bit unconfident with it. You can see, not the most confident kick up. And we see with Martin here, really soft elbows, really bent in the elbows. So we just cue, right, Martin, push the floor away. Push away, you see that? Pushes the floor away. Instant fix. That's a good one, just to cue. It's hard to cue people when they're upside down. Just give them really simple cues. Push the floor away. So we got Ian here, and I've stepped away. So again, teaching the guys, go for it. Empower them to spot. Ian, not very confident. Probably 2 months ago, just would not kick upside down whatsoever. Practiced it against the wall with spotting. Look at that position. Ideal. Toes pointed away, legs squeezed together, really pushed away, nice straight line, really top position, great work there from Ian, wicked. And then just moving on, just explaining where the hands need to be and how we need to use our fingers and use our hands to manipulate positions, especially when we're freestanding. So when we've kicked up, if we're kicking up and we're falling over that way as if you're going into the forward roll, what we can do is, rather than being flat with the hands, grip the floor like this, okay? What that allows us to do is get a better contact with the floor. As we're going over, if we tend to feel like we're going over too far into that roll, we push your fingers. So like push your fingers into the ground, and that will send your body back that way. If you're coming back down this way, as if you're just coming back to your feet, you can push through your palm. I tend to find just a little elbow bend and then try and reposition yourself. Works quite well. You can manipulate a lot better if you're going over that way and pushing through your fingers and then just finding that sweet spot. If you're coming back that way, it's tough. You've got to bend at the elbow and press out, but you can bring it back. And then this one always gets a laugh. You can call it what you want. I just call it fist. The fist technique. It always gets a laugh. Kick up, spot as you would. One of the spotters is going to come around the back, and it's important that you make that decision beforehand. Come around the back. Fist goes in between the legs squeeze nice and tight, and then once confident, the spotter with the fist just tells the other spotter, yeah, happy with that, move away, they step away, and then they're balancing there, nice. So we see Martin in quite a good position actually, not very confident again, kicking up, but when he's there, the fist's in, he's squeezing nice and tight. Again, you can see there just a slight bend in the elbow, and that's going to be Martin's focus point for that day, but just pressing away. Just going over more why we emphasize that fist and how and why that works is basically you want to think about your body being as one unit. So when you're kicking up into the handstand, you're not just thinking about, oh, what are my hands doing, and not worrying about what your legs are doing, or what's my upper body doing, and your legs just being all over the place. So it's really just reinforcing that your body is one whole unit, and that's how it needs to be when we're stacked, getting that handstand position. So what that drill does is lets people feel what squeezing your body super tight and how that gets you into a nice handstand hold, and getting them to understand what that feels like. Sometimes if you just cue in the athlete or the member to squeeze their legs together, sometimes it's hard to understand, like what does that mean. So the legs are out wide, the feet are just kind of wherever, a little bit broken here, just really worrying about, oh, what are my hands doing, am I going to fall on my head, kind of thing. So the fist goes in, and what that actually, it just gets the member just to feel what it is that you're asking them. So active tissue throughout the whole body, and not just thinking, right, my upper body's a bit noodly but the legs are tight, or vice versa. That one single unit. So making sure that the whole body is stacked perfectly, everything's nice and tight throughout the body. You hear that a lot, get tight, but it's hard for your member to understand what that means, what you're asking of them. But if you get them to feel it, again, If they're confident, if they're happy with that, if sometimes you just ask them to squeeze their bum or squeeze their abs and nothing's happening, you can little prod, maybe not too much in the ribs if they're a bit ticklish, or just on the side of the bum cheek, just if it's off, little prod just in the side of the cheek. Usually it'll switch on again. Like that's up to you and your relationship with your athletes. Just a tactile cue, just a little prod, switches on immediately. You'll see if they've got an arch in the back, if their bum's on, their abs on, that tends to just get the abs down in a nice stacked position. Okay, so that's the idea with the fisting technique. Again, you can call it whatever you want. Active tissue drill. You probably won't get a laugh, but depending on where you're at with your athletes, that's up to you. Okay, moving on from there. Jo has a go of this. So she's kicking up. Again, really confident kick up. Ian's in, spotting, wicked, head through, pressing the floor away. She was straight in. I like to tend to have my hand like this. It gives you a bit more contact with the fist. But I was here. She was straight in, clamped on. Wicked. It's still working. She's getting the idea. She's squeezing the fist with her legs. Okay, perfect. From there, moving on to the PVC pipe drill. So 2 PVC pipes, 2 spotters. 2 of you are going to hold your pipes facing each other like this. The athlete is then going to kick up into the pipe, hold the handstand. The other pipe comes up, or the spotter grabs that pipe, and they're basically trapped inside the pipes. From there, you can be in really tight. When your member's kicking up, it feels weird. When you're the person kicking up, you're like, it's weird. I feel like there's nothing there. Once they've had a couple of goes at it, they might just bounce in and bounce back down like Adam did there. Once they get confident with it, you can then get that one in, no dramas. From there, cue them into that good position first before you're trying to manipulate them into like freestanding. Get them to be in a nice good position. So feet together, point the toes away, squeeze the bum, squeeze the abs, nice straight line. You'll be nice and tight here like this. From there, what we can do is separate the pipes a little bit and then just give them a little bit of room. So if they're coming this way, nudge them back that way and just try and get them to feel where that sweet spot is. And you will find with this one that, I think Adam found this as well, he held it for about 2 seconds where the pipes were here, he was in the middle, we just nudged him and he just held it for like 2 seconds, and that's as long as he's ever held it for. So it's a really good cue to get people to feel where they need to be rather than kicking up to the wall, coming off, kicking up to the wall, coming off. Just a really good way to do it, and you as spotters can manipulate them in. Again, Ian here, figuring it out, little kick up, little struggle, he's in. Again, Jo, hand on there, help him up, wicked, perfect. Finds that really good position, look at that, nice and straight, really. Straight legs, squeezing the quads, toes pointed away, nice and stacked down the middle. From there, right, let's give him a little bit of space, help him maneuver into that and see if he can find that sweet spot. If not, just keep him there, move him where you want him to be. From there, see how it goes. With this one, kept this in because it was just pretty funny. I think Ian wanted to try a handstand walk. So you can do it like this. There's probably better ways than doing it. What you usually can do is have them stacked up, and then from there you just walk along with them and they take steps. But you can see there, as he shifted his weight onto one, he kind of just lost it. I had no hands, so we just went in for the old headbutt. What else are you going to do? Take a foot to the face? Headbutt's fine. Jo just asked a little bit about after that, like what's the technique for handstand walking and what's the idea behind that. I'll go over that in a different video, but you can just see there just the distribution of the weight and how we can get into that with nice locked out strong elbows. And then we just finished off with a few max set strict handstand push-ups. So you can see the guys here sort of just banging out a few strict ones, which is wicked. Slight arch in there from Adam, but not the end of the world. Squeeze his bum, squeeze his abs a bit tighter, probably get a nice straight up position. But 10 unbroken strict handstand push-ups, not bad at all. And then the guys in the background just still practicing, working on kicking up, maybe doing like a controlled negative. So kicking up, controlling down to the mat, coming down, kicking up, controlling down, like a bit of a negative. Just be careful with that one. If you're coming down, crashing onto your neck, then just practice the holds. And then Adam there, the hobbit, struggling to get his PB on the board. He had to stand on some kettlebells. I don't advise you do that, but 6 strict handstand push-ups, PB, get it on the board. can't ask for more than that. So hopefully that's given you guys some ideas, some tips, maybe something to work on. If maybe it's just something new that you can try with your guys, or try with your mates. Yeah, if there's anything you'd like me to go over or involve in future videos, let me know. If there's anything you liked, let me know. If there's anything you didn't like, let me know. Yeah, so keep your eyes peeled. It's going to be like a regular thing. I'm hoping to do one a week, and it's just going to involve all the movements that you tend to generally see in CrossFit gymnastics, so muscle ups, handstand push-ups, maybe pistols, bar muscle ups, pull-ups, ring rows, taking it right back to the basics as well. So keep your eyes peeled for all that. Subscribe if you want to stay up to date with the videos, then just click that subscribe button and then it'll notify you every time there's a new video. Yeah, wicked. Hope that's helpful, guys. See you in the next one.